Coach, hey, thanks for joining me today on this Simple Coach to Coach. You are my second coach for 2026. I do, as always, love talking to you, love connecting. Talked about Hopkins soccer. Thank you for joining. Do appreciate it.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me on, and thanks for what you do for D3 soccer. I think it's it's excellent, and it gives us some exposure that we greatly need. A lot of attention goes D1. I don't know who does D2 or NAIA, but appreciative of you, keeping us on people's minds and keeping a community together, kind of striving for info about what comes out of D3.
Thank you. I'm going to correct you, though. Well, nobody talks about Division I soccer. The only thing that people talk about are like maybe the top 30 teams in Division I soccer. That's
fair.
Why? And I will say this to let the cat out. I actually, over the last year, was thinking, maybe I should go into Division I and start diving into. And then I realized what I would want to do. Hey, I want to talk about the programs nobody really sort of pays attention to. And then I realized, nobody's paying attention to those programs, but everybody pays attention to the top 25, 30, 40, maybe 50 if you're being generous. Outside of that, nobody knows who this Division I program is. So anyhow, but I thank you for that. All right, so as I always do, you've done this before. You are not a rookie. I want to ask you, without interjecting, I would just want to ask you, give me your sense or what your feeling is about how your season went.
It was a bit of a roller coaster. Yeah. I always come into the season, we're in the process now, like my assistant William Venzel and I will go to recruiting events, and there's a lot of travel time, sitting together in the car, traveling or on the plane, and we're like, what about this? What about this? Is this going to be good? How about this structure and all that? And so there's all this dreaming and hope about how to put the puzzle together and how that puzzle's going to work coming into preseason and for the season. And I think if you go back to our last interview, I was pretty optimistic. I was also fairly realistic that there's a bunch of young guys and how that was going to pan out. But yeah, you don't assume that you're going to get beat 4-0 multiple times in the season after the seasons we've had, after the history we've had recently from, say, like 2016 on. But that's what happened. We do have a very strong group of freshmen, which, given how much they played this year, I'd say they're going to probably be more like juniors next season. But man, we just got hit. I don't want to make excuses, but you also have to look at the components that created the situations that we were in, and we were just in a massive injury situation. We felt like we were even training. I've talked to other coaches, and it seemed like a lot of teams were in the same situation where, we have tons of injuries. And so in training, we felt like we couldn't go hard. We felt like we were wrapping him in bubble wrap just to make sure, we don't lose another guy. And so those injuries really piled up on us. And we ended up playing the final against Dickinson with 12 guys on the bench. And
Wait. You had...
Okay, sorry, I misspoke. With 12 guys injured on the bench.
Oh,
we were without 12 guys that we could use.
From your roster that you would use in a game regularly.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so we were extremely compromised in that game. And in talking to the guys after the game, they were like, "Coach, after 20 minutes, I couldn't run because we had expended so much in the semifinal against
Yeah.
Gettysburg that they didn't recover
Yeah.
because I couldn't sub them out
Yeah.
in the Gettysburg game, and so we were trying to recover by the next by Sunday, but they were done. So there's an up and down. I mean, there's a part is like, yeah, I didn't see the season going like that. There is, a positive in that we got stuck in a place where when we played Dickinson in the regular season, we pretty much had to get a result in every game going in to even make the tournament.
Yeah.
On the very last day of the regular season, I think there were 8 teams in the mix to make the tournament, and everybody needed to get. Muhlenberg was ranked second going into the weekend, and it was quite possible if results didn't go their way that they could be out of the tournament, and so there was a lot of stress. But we finished out 5-1-1, which.
In conference.
Well, our last 7 games, we finished 5-1-1.
Oh, last,
And so, that was good. So we feel good about that in terms of like, okay, we put something together there to end on a high note, kind of like losing the final the way we did is that's. Like kind of like we were on an uptrend, and then like that's a rough one to take.
Yeah.
But you take that kind of season, and hopefully the guys. I know as a coach, I'm motivated to fix. I'm motivated to not go through that again. Yeah. And so hopefully the players feel the same way, and they're ready to put in the work effort in all season to make sure we're fit, protected against injury, and ready to get back to where we should be as a program.
2 questions come to mind. Was there ever a time during the season where you were like, "Hey, we're finally fit," or was it like literally all season you were? The whole season you were just snake bit with injuries.
Yep.
You may know
the most important spot for us is center back. So
every year it is, but I won't say anything.
Yeah, the second game, 1 minute into the Swanee game, we lost the freshman that was really going to be
the guy,
the composed one. Like you can have a composed one and one that like is feeding off the composed one. We lost our composed one, and that was like we had structured our house of cards with him as the base, and we lost him, and then it was trying to figure out how to set up that house of cards again, which we did. Like I took Scott Coleman, who was a forward winger attacking mid for us, put him at holding mid, and put him in the back. And once we moved him to the back, he took a game or two to go like, okay, I'm not comfortable. Okay, I'm getting this. Yeah. And then he messed up his knee in the Muhlenberg game. And so then really towards the end, we took a freshman, and basically this isn't how the coaching certifications go in terms of how to train, right? But basically, I ran training sessions for one person. Yeah. And one person only. And after the season, we had some guys come in and say, "Coach, those training sessions, specifically towards the end, like, I'm not sure I got a lot out of that." I was like, "Yeah, like I'm sorry, man, but we did win those games, right?" And I was like, "Yeah," because it was a training session for one person. We needed him to know what to do. We needed him to have the confidence of how to do it. To be able to get through those. So, it wasn't that he was the only one on the field. They were all on the field, but the ball was like, okay, start it. okay,
Yeah,
this and that.
yeah.
And can we get it up to those guys so that
Yeah.
they're not standing around too long, hopefully, but no, that's wrong. Okay, look at it this way, or now try again. Right. And so it worked to an extent, but it wasn't ideal coaching. It's not how the proper progression of how to go through a training session. But we made it to the final
Yeah.
and gave us kind of a shot to win a final. So, yeah, I mean, tough year. And all right, so here's an indication of the, 17, 16 years. I don't know. Years rack up. I don't keep track of them. I think we've applied for 3 to 4 hardship waivers, meaning somebody's been out injured so long that
You want to give them the year back, yeah.
extra year. So
Yeah.
over that course of time, we maybe apply over 16, 17 years, we've applied for 3 or 4.
Yeah.
This season, we're applying for 5.
Wow.
So it's just,
That was going to be my next question. Like, what the injuries that you were suffering, were they, the soft tissue? Hey, I pulled my quad because I kicked the ball too many times. But it sounds like they were much more serious,
yeah.
by and large, than somebody being like, I need a day rest because I can't push it. Yeah.
No. They were, okay, he's gone for a while or maybe
The
all
whole
season.
season. Yeah.
Right. So, okay, who's next?
What I'm just curious because I've never. Maybe I should speak with a trainer. Like, what at that point? What does the athletic training staff say to you? I've never seen this before, or this is bizarre, or.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just now. Our trainers know he's awesome. He's great. This is his first year with us. But yeah, I mean, they were all over the place. So it's not like, okay, let's narrow this down and figure this out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, is it something you could fix?
No, yeah, I mean, okay, to give an indication, one of the freshmen, he actually broke his leg in 3 places in the state final in high school, and just didn't recoup. We thought it might be close coming in because it happened in January, February.
Yeah.
And so we're like, maybe he gets here and he's still recovering, but maybe we get him back by October or something like that. And just
never happened.
No. And then we had like a keeper in the summer leagues, messed up his ankle, never able to, get right.
Yeah.
The one player in the second, that was an ankle as well, in the second game of the season. There were 2 hamstrings that were like...
those are tough.
Yeah, like in the season hamstrings,
Yeah.
not like maybe 3 or 4 game hamstrings. It's just kind of all over the map.
Yeah.
So... It was a tough one, but like I said, it's not like we were the only. I remember at the F&M game talking to Dan Wagner, and he's like, "Well, how many you got?" And he's like, "I got 16." I was like, "I got 17," and I know in that game he had 3 guys come off, have to be like escorted off the field. We had 1 guy come off.
Yeah,
and it's just like it's tough.
That's interesting because somebody had sent me a text because, I'd been saying all along, for some reason, this year just felt a little different with a lot of teams and conferences, and the usual suspects just weren't getting it done for whatever the reasons are. And I kept saying, like, this is the year, if you're that team that's been always 4th, 5th, this is your team. This is your year to go. And be, in the Centennial, I kept saying, just look at Hopkins and F&M, who just can't. And I don't mean this in a, you know what I mean. This is not a bad thing. Like, you just could never seem to get over a hump, whatever that hump was. I'm like, I kept waiting, like, this is the game, and you just feel like something's wrong. And it was never like, oh, you guys are terrible, or no, it was always like, just something's not right. So somebody texted me about the injuries for F&M.
Yeah.
And then when you played F&M there, I was like, this is the season for both
Yep.
Hopkins and F&M. I'm like, this is the game that it boils down to, because you lose, you're done. Conference, you're done. You're just nothing. You're just playing to wind down the season. And if you win, you stand the chance. Like you position yourself to be like, hey, we might be able to do something. And so that game, I was like, this is all it. This is it. I thought.
Well, for us, you're right. We had to win all those games coming in.
Yeah.
Like we were at Ursinus, and they should have scored an early goal. That one of our guys, like our keeper, came out. They headed it over him. One of our players was aware and was tracking in behind the keeper and cleared it off the line. If they get that goal in, I don't think we find the goal back.
Yeah.
And so, and if that doesn't happen, I don't think we get in. And so, all those games were important coming in.
Yeah.
And there were other crazy things, like a sophomore game. There was a pretty substantial referee error that we were on top of them, and then that error gives them a goal.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, how do you not call it? That's as blatant as anything.
Yeah.
But you have to be good enough to I preach this over and over again, and it's mostly not for the regular season. It's for the 6 games to try to win the national championship. But like, you're going to have some ability to overcome an obstacle, whether it's snow or a bad ref or something, wind, conditions or whatever. And so you have to be good enough to be, the probability of where you are has to be strong enough that if the obstacle comes in here, you still have a margin of error that still gets you through. And we were not. And
I would say, I'm going to say something though. I think that was very much a symptom of this season in particular. And I mean, you've had successful seasons in the past, and I just think like, that should be of no surprise. Like, you know what I mean? You're still very good, but I just think all the things you were dealing with just never let you guys reach that level where then those obstacles become, hey, we'll deal with it by getting a goal or doing whatever we need to. Like that equation was thrown out the window. Sounds like it was just thrown out the window, right? Like you're just battling. Every game becomes a battle, and because you're never quite sure who your 11 guys are going to be because of the injuries.
Right.
Yeah.
And we did, like some of the new guys, we had to it took us time to figure out where they needed to go. And so Brendan LeSwan was the rookie of the conference. And we were playing around with them with winger or forward. He settled in at forward and started gaining some momentum. And then we had Connor Wilkes. We're trying to figure out like attacking mid, winger. He started settling in at winger, and then you could see that they started getting their confidence building towards the end of the season, and then the team started getting confidence in their ability to create something there too. So it took us a while to get to that. But we didn't have a lot of depth behind them to help them get to that position. So it was kind of like as they were struggling to get through it, we were struggling to get through it as well, to figure out, or as I was struggling, maybe as a coach, to figure out, where exactly how to place them to create success. We didn't have a a guardrail to keep us still getting results as I was sorting out those decisions.
How much? If you look at this year compared to other years, like how much how much did your freshmen play in comparison? Would you say like they got a ton more minutes because of all the things you talked about, or would you say it's just because I know you play excuse me, you play who you play because it's about the soccer. I totally get that, but did you find yourself having to go deep into the bench with guys that you wouldn't necessarily get the time?
Well, I think those are two different things. But I think the way you ask the question is wouldn't necessarily get the time with the thought of those being freshmen.
Correct.
And I'd say we definitely went into the bench playing players that might not have gotten as much time because of the injuries. But the freshman class was extremely talented. And so I was totally planning on playing all of them in the season and getting pretty good minutes. The issue that happened, there were so many injuries that my plan was to play them, but then other guys and like do the kind of rotation of the squad to keep everybody's legs fresh. And we just had to lean on them for the majority of games because there wasn't a very deep bench. So, hey, you guys got to stay out here. Good luck. And I will say I don't think one of our mistakes is that we didn't show up ready, and I do think it attributed to the injuries to some degree that we weren't as fit as we needed to be. And so that will be a strong emphasis of what we deal with coming forward, and something they should recognize, right? But I fully, as I put that puzzle together that I was talking about with my assistant, we were super excited about the freshmen and what they were going to bring and how involved they were going to be. But the complement, we lost some freshmen, we lost some upper class players that were key to us as well. And so the puzzle just had a lot of missing pieces that were very difficult to arrange the puzzle to get it in the right place so that we were consistently strong and felt confident about what we were doing.
All right, I'm going to ask you $1 million question that only I would ask because
I'll give you a 2-cent answer.
It's a good answer. I like that. Maybe I should stop while I'm ahead. Let's clean the slate. Let's say all your injuries are taken care of. Everybody's healthy. They show up in preseason. You can forget about the recruit, like the new class that's coming in. Just the group of players that you know that you're recovering. Let's just say that they're 100% healthy. What would your sense be about a season with that being the case?
Last season?
No, let's just say in next season they show up.
Fall.
Yeah, this coming fall. Like, how would you feel about going into the season with that group of guys, healthy, 100% healthy?
That we can win the national championship.
I'm totally making this I'm totally cutting this into a short. That's awesome. Okay. That says a lot. That says a lot.
I believe in the talent of these guys. And the incoming class may be one of the best we've ever had.
This past incoming class or the next one?
The one coming up. Yeah.
Really?
The 2026 class is, the 2025 class was excellent. My assistant, William Vanzella, deserves all the credit. He is the guy.
Heard he was a good goalkeeper, too.
He's excellent. But he is tracking down so many emails, putting them in spreadsheets. He obsesses about it, and so I think we got guys coming in that is kind of like it's funny. This is a Craig Appleby comment, but with my wife and I last night, we were talking about a particular male individual that was a singer. And it's like my wife showed me his wife, and she was like, she got the rough end of the stick there, right? And so he got maybe something he shouldn't have gotten.
Uh-huh.
We got recruits that like, wow, how'd we get these guys?
Uh-huh.
They're very talented guys, players, and I think it's a case of finally getting out ahead in recruiting, talking to these guys early, and they see the value of Hopkins and aren't dissuaded so much by the D1 thing.
Uh-huh.
They're also connected to us as a coaching staff much earlier. And they're really good. That's not to discount the class we had. Like the class, the 25 class is the foundation of this program. You know, the season that went through, the healthy ones that actually made it through or got some good time, are going to be extremely influential and pivotal guys for us to hopefully win some more conference championships and hopefully take this program past that next step where I said, I think somebody in the conference needs to win the national championship.
Yeah.
I do believe that we have that talent to be able to get to that. Does mean we have to prepare. Like, we can't just go, oh, we have the talent and we'll see you guys in August. Like, no, we have to
work.
Get the work done.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're excited about it. But I don't want to get too, like, I was excited, last time we talked too, and we had all these injuries. So if we have the same injury situation, no, we're going to be compromised, and it's going to be nearly impossible to win a national championship. But we had within our team definitely a talent to be a top 25 team this past season.
Yeah.
But things just came apart.
That's not a bad. Can I just say, like, I don't think that's a bad thing that you had a season like you did this.
Oh,
like,
no.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's bad and good, right?
Yeah.
You have to. You can't be in the doldrums about these losses too. You can't let it hit you too hard. I've here I'm going to go off on a tangent, but there's people around here in the department, wherever, that have experienced some tough stuff. And when you have loss, whether it's a stupid loss like a soccer game or a major loss like someone in the family, you can go to the edge of the abyss and look down the abyss and get just sad and sorrowful and mournful. And the more you look at the edge of the abyss, it can pull you down, because you get addicted to the loss and the sorrow, and you've got to pull away from that and find some sort of positive, find some sort of purpose. And so, I actually, you started by saying, "How are you?"
Yeah.
And I all season, I've said never better.
Yeah.
I am never better, and I wouldn't have said that. I'm in a place where I probably, if we had this season the year before or in the past, I would have had a much harder time dealing with it.
Yeah.
But this year, I'm never better. I'm in an excellent place.
Yeah.
And that comes with, okay, now how do we deal with this to be able to move forward?
Yeah.
And I think as a coach, I'm also never better. I feel like I'm in a place to be able to interact with my players about the season better, and how how to pull them together so that they fight for each other,
Yeah.
and believe in each other, and trust in each other, and hopefully trust in me and believe in me in a way that we're all kind of pointed in the same path to say, like, okay, now let's not just do stuff to go and win games, but let's do things so that we come together tightly and form relationships that, like, isn't this the real purpose?
Yeah.
We come together and start learning how to trust and respect and treat each other in a way that forms a bond that's unusual.
Yeah.
It's not guys just hanging out and partying
Yeah.
and thinking they're tight, and they're not really. Because tight means I've got something difficult, or tight means I'm going to be real vulnerable and share with you something that I don't think I can share with many people, because I know I can trust you with that information.
Yeah.
And so that's where we are heading.
Yeah.
And I think if we get it right, a national championship is definitely on the table.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went off on that.
No, that's a tangent I love, because I will. This is you know, I'm all about doing public service announcements, because you hit on some things that are, like, very, very close, right? Like, you know, I say in soccer, right? Everyone knows winning is contagious, right? Like, you win, a win gets you a little bit closer to that next win, and so programs that are sort of built and can carry this momentum forward, it's right. It's uncompromising in a lot of ways, right? Because we just win. Mm-hmm. But so too is losing, right? Like, and not a lot of people have the wherewithal to understand the psychology of what happens when you get in that mode of staring into the abyss. Because the abyss doesn't look like an abyss. There's some glamour to it. I don't understand it, but there is something like, woe is me, right? Look at me. You know, there's a little bit of narcissism and feeling gloomy about your situation, because everybody's going to be sympathetic. This is totally weird off tangent, so I apologize, right? Like, I will say personally, and not soccer-wise, like, I quit drinking for this very reason, because the abyss became very, there was something comforting about being in the abyss. And I know of programs that are of that mindset, where there's something nice about being punchy bags, right? There's a comfort level to it, and there's not this level of accountability and all this stuff that sort of, to say, winning programs, people with positive attitudes sort of take on, because, right, nobody wants to pile on the guy the person or the team or the program that's not on the win, like, has that winning tradition and whatever. And I know, I'm glad to hear, like, in a lot of reasons, I know this is crazy, but I'm like, this is a great season for you guys as far as I'm concerned, because I'm like, your lessons are right there. And it's funny, it's never about the soccer. You know what I mean? Like, I never questioned the soccer on the field. I never thought your guys were not good. I always kept saying, like, something is wrong, and it was beyond that. Everyone could kick, everybody could pass, you guys could play, but something was just not functioning as smoothly as last year. And I think that's an awesome learning when you piece together, okay, we got to get back at it, and how do we look forward to it, and how do we get our guys healthy? How do we get these pieces of the puzzle back in, so that, like you said, you come into a season at 100% healthy. And now, I got to believe you guys are walking with a chip on your shoulder for this, right? Like, this is not a Hopkins season that people, like, expect. And so now you have a chip on your shoulder, and now you're going to go into 2026 and just be like,
Yeah.
I went off totally on a completely random walk through my own mind, so I apologize, but I came back to you guys.
No, don't apologize. Like I talked to one of my players for 9 hours straight about like not soccer. Like,
Yeah.
this is what I enjoy.
Yeah.
Talks like this.
Yeah.
But maybe we have a chip on our shoulder, but I will, like when you say that, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't like thinking about how we're like, you know me, like
Yeah.
people think the PK stuff is ridiculous. And
Yeah.
I don't care. You can laugh at me.
I love the PK stuff, Coach.
I don't care what people think about me.
Yeah.
So, I will say I want our team to be an example for others to follow. So I do want people to look at our program and go like, I want my child to be a part of that. Like that's a respectful organization. They treat people right. They do things the right way. So I do think about that. But in terms of wins and losses or whatever, like I want us to trust each other. Mm-hmm. Everybody else is outside of that bubble. Like, did you do the stuff that I believe in you? Did I do the stuff that you believe in me? And that's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. And then when we go out on the field, are we basically having, not to get too sappy, but are we having a relationship where it's like, I give you the ball, I got your back, you got my back, and we're starting to build that tight-knit culture of like, we are tight. We're not saying we're tight. We are super tight. On the field, off the field, wherever it goes, we're a group that has each other's back. And so 20 years down the line, something happens. My stepbrother had a situation when my stepfather passed away that there were 3 families that left their job, brought their whole family down to administer to my mom and take care of my stepbrother and just like, we're here for you, whatever it takes. That was a good example of like how people should take care of each other when they say they're tight.
Yeah.
And not just give lip service of like, hey, can you give me a ride to the airport? No, sure.
Yeah.
What time? 3 a.m. Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So,
wow, we went deep, didn't we? We went deep.
I love going deep.
No, that's good. I just mean like,
and I mean, there are stuff with our program behind the scenes we need to fix.
Yeah.
Like, there's some like we're getting ready to start the spring soon, and there's some deep conversations, some tough conversations that we have to kind of face and go like, what do you want? Yeah. Because like we can't just be talented, like, and we have to look at each other and say like, are we all in on this? Well, how do you prove that? And yes,
that's a very big, like, don't get me wrong, that is definitely, I'd say to people in all the teams that I watched and coaches that I talked to, like, it goes beyond the talent on the field. You could have amazing talent, but if your head's not on right, it doesn't amount. It's not going to amount to much, right? It's not going to do what it needs you to do in those tough situations, right? And I think that's very true. And so I think every program deals with that to one degree or another, right? Like I think, these are.
But the elite ones get everybody, like there's not a big gap between the top guys that come in super fit, have worked on all their weaknesses and showed up and go like, I'm ready. And then the back guys are like, I kind of crammed the last 2 weeks before I came into preseason or whatever.
Well, that's why I'm always big about, leadership in the locker room. Not, when the coach is away, who's the guy or who are the guys who are, doing the things that to make sure that number 30 on the roster is doing the work as hard as everybody else to make, for them to improve, for the team, for the program to improve, to make practices all the much better. Like that's I think that's equally as big of a deal, and you need those guys, right? I think that's anyhow. Can you
What else you got for me?
Yeah, let me break out my book on therapy, and we'll just talk about it. No. That was great. That was great. I love that. I love going in. You know, I've said this. I said this the last, the last interview I had. I am less interested. Maybe it's because I'm older, and maybe you have some insight. I'm less interested about the X's and O's, about how to win a game, because I think that's like I think everybody's concerned about that, and I'm always trying to figure out what's that next layer of what makes a team tick, and what makes good players really great, and all these different dynamics, and it goes so far beyond. You realize how quickly, especially in college soccer, because of all the things that is going on and the expectations and all that kind of stuff. So much of that is beyond the soccer. Like like you said, the important stuff, the stuff that really builds a program, is so not focused on the ball. You know what I mean? Like, it is focused on all this other periphery stuff, and it's how do you capture that and craft it in such a way that when it does get to be about a soccer ball, everyone's tuned in, bought in, and that's the easy part. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you just tell you, because you mentioned it, now I got it, like you said you're super psyched for your freshman class now. You were super, or still are, I'll just say super pumped for your sophomore class that's in next year or next season. Tell me a little bit about your incoming freshman class that has you so pumped. Are these?
I mean, they're just talented. I don't want to go individual names. You could probably look up guys through websites or whatever. But we have a midfield coming in that's super technical. We have one guy coming in, reminds us of Francis a lot. That was an All-American for us.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah. And we've got two solid defenders coming in that are very smart, get their angles right. I think one of the negative aspects of myself as a coach is I am so focused on how we play building out that I look at defenders in the build out and not so much in the defense part. And so as I was evaluating, I was just really excited about like those two guys' ability to close angles and not overjump on things, not stab and miss, not get too excitable when somebody's close to goal, but be able to read what that attacker is thinking, instead of just looking at the ball and thinking this is close to goal, this is trouble, this is no good, but to put themselves in the mind of that attacker and go like, his angle doesn't look good here, so I think he's going to try to set me up for a fake shot to cut it in, and I'm not going to bite on that. And then we've got two good attacking players as well that really complement, and they're not the same. One is a very aggressive, direct player, great with both feet, shoots well with both feet, really pressures hard and surprises people with his athleticism. And then the other one is kind of a typical, like a high level Hopkins type attacker, where he's very good with his back to goal, extremely good with his back to goal, given like he's not like a 6'3" guy. His feet are super tight. We can play him at central midfield if we want him to, but he scores goals. And I do think he plays at a high level club that I think it's possible he got overshadowed by other guys because they look more athletic, or they were running across and doing all these things, but then he would score goals. And so I think, at times he got overshadowed. And I think if you gave me the other couple that club has, we want that one. That's the one that suits us the best. And I think he's the better one for us.
Yeah.
And so we're really excited about the class, and I think it will complement, what we have already. And so, like, getting to the point where Hopkins soccer looks like pop, 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 bam, we score. It looks like we're going to be super technical, have strong vision of like having the guys that aren't seeing the game like this, but seeing it. I might have mentioned this before, but there's a book called The Five Rings about the greatest swordsman that ever lived. And so this guy is making this comment when there weren't planes or cameras or anything, but he basically said, when you get to a certain level, you can see it from a bird's eye view. And so that's, for me, that's outstanding that somebody from that time recognizes that aspect. And I think we have some of the best soccer players, specifically midfield players, their scanning ability, and being able to take snapshots, and also being able, in that snapshot, be able to calculate the variable. Okay, I saw this person at this point, but he was moving in this direction, so I have to pay attention over here. But when I look again, I think he's going to be here. Yep, that's where he is. And so being able to kind of like take all these variables in to be smart about your decision-making process. That's like for NFL football or college football, that's what the quarterback needs to do. They might look over here, but they have a reference of what's going on over here. So they're looking here, but they're calculating here as well. And so I think, in midfielders, you really need those guys that have that kind of ability. And I think we're getting those guys, and we're going to have those guys, and it excites us a lot.
Coach, this was awesome. As always, I love talking to you. We can go down some heady roads. So,
I love it. Yeah, no problem. You might have people tune in and go like, "Hey, enough of this stuff.
What are these guys?
Soccer stuff.
What are these guys talking about?"
This is a soccer podcast.
No, that's it. No, this is Paul's podcast. Like, I do whatever I want. So, and I talk about whatever I want. No, but that was fantastic. Again, you're one of the guys that can actually have those conversations with, right? Like, sort of, what does that? Again, the stuff that I find really interesting is what goes on between the ears for guys to be better soccer players and not, this. Okay, so we're not over yet because I'm just going to go on a little rant.
Sure.
I have theories, ideas, thoughts about things that about the game that are sort of counter to what I think a lot of people
like what.
Well, I'll go with the easy one because I always reference it. Like, I have this issue with corner kicks. Like, I think corner kicks are wasted opportunities. I don't think that they're very. I don't think. I'll just say college soccer because I professionally I think it's a little different. But in college soccer, I think they're just wasted opportunities, and I just think.
You have. I think data to back that up. As many corner kicks get put in, as many times as the ball is put into an area that is that close to the goal, and as few goals.
Correct. Thank you.
Percentage.
Thank you. Like I just don't. And I get, it's like I get you want to put pressure. And you want to create, I call it an illusion of pressure, right? Like you're dumping it in the box and you're forcing their team to defend really hard. And I'm like, I don't want the illusion of making it hard. I want to make it legitimately hard. I want to put a ball in or do something that's going to get a ball into that's really going to be a chance to score. Not this, hey, we're going to battle. Anyhow, so that's just one of them. My latest Maybe I do have an episode somewhere from a couple of years ago where I sort of ran through some of my counterintuitive ideas that maybe I'll repolish that off and add to them. My latest one, and it makes me want to throw up. Every time I hear somebody talk about soccer and doing anything about soccer, especially players that want to play college or play professional, and they talk about what they have to do as a grind, to me is the worst way to frame whatever you're doing to become a better player. It is in my since I started playing, it did not matter wherever I was. It could have been on the soccer field. It could have been by myself in 10-degree weather on a soccer field, being whipped around by wind, right? Like just training with the ball by myself. It was never a grind, right? It was the thing I loved and I wanted to do, and I see that and it makes me cringe because no wonder why we have, again, I look to my kids, to the simple players. Like, they grinded. They did all the grinding, and it grinded them out. And, you know, like, it just sort of, and I don't want to even say they're, like, passionate about the game. You know, like, they're just sort of, like, devoid of any emotional attachment to the game because they spent years grinding. And, anyhow.
You're absolutely right there, and we could go off on different tangents as to why, but like, I totally agree with you. Like the PK thing.
Yeah.
I can go in the back gym and start practicing. We have I have a setup that involves like the track and field's big pad for high jumps. So it hits the wall, it hits the big pad, it comes right back to me so I can hit tons of shots. And basketball would come in there, individual basketballs come in and just start shooting shots. It's not the main gym, so it's just a place where they get extra reps. And then I had the basketball coach say, like, I had guys come in there and say, like, Coach, I went in there and hit some shots, went and did some other things, and then came back, and he was still in there. Because I didn't, like, I'm so into it. Yeah. Like, I'm addicted to taking PKs until, like, my hamstring pops or something like that. And I go, like, okay, I'm 55. Yeah. I need to account for, like, my hamstring might pop or something like that. But I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and so, yeah, what you say about the grind is, like, okay, your grind is only going to get you to a certain level because you have to have a love for what you want to do. And like, if you feel like you have a love for the game, then maybe you have to rethink your thought about training. Maybe you've just accepted, okay, to train you need to do this and that, and you got to go like, well, that doesn't get me out of bed in the morning with excitement. So can I think of a different way to do that? Maybe it's like, maybe I mimic something like that's on FIFA, that's a passing thing or a dribbling thing, and I'm excited to play FIFA, so I'm excited to imitate this thing that I play on the video game or something like that. Just don't get yourself out of the box and think differently to try to accomplish your goal. And hopefully it gives you passion. But if you find no passion in the training, you are always going to be behind the guy who just loves it,
will do anything,
passionate
and just
training.
Loves absolutely. And I'll say two things, right? Like, the reason to me why soccer was always different than, I'll just say, the other American sports in general on the field is that, you know, and I came from Europe, so I mean, it's part of my experience was that, like, you know, I aspired to play professionally, but I just want to play. Like, you know what? It wasn't like I'm hanging all of my everything on this one thing. I was like, I just want to go out and play and play and play and play more and play more until I can't see the ball or until my knees hurt, like all that stuff. So that's the one. And I don't see that enough from players. I see players that start the grind at 5 o'clock and the grind ends at 6. And I was like, by my definition, I was 24/7 committed. I woke up with the game in my head. And you know what? If I didn't, it's funny because maybe that's the part of it. It's like if I didn't want to train, if I knew I had to do, hey, I got to practice with my left foot, be like, yeah, I'm going to, maybe I'll go play with the 10-year-olds that are down the street. I'll pick up a game and I'll be like, hey, I'll play on my own team. I can only use my left foot. Right? And I would totally, it wouldn't be cone bound or anything like that. The next thing, the next thing I will say, I attribute this whole thing about grinding out, why we have players that, and you see more than I do. You see more than I do. Like the amount of kids that I go like, that's the same kid as that kid, as that kid, as that kid, as that kid, and you just run through. And I watch teams of robots, and we've created a team of emotionless robots out there. Boy, let me get down my soapbox and let you talk.
Those two things I think connect to what I wanted to say, which is, one, you need to get out and have a passion for what you want, but connected to that passion is also maybe a tool or belief that sets you apart. Like, I'll try to connect it. Like, you have fast players. Like, I'm fast. I want to show you how fast.
Yeah.
Give me a chance in the game. Play a ball over the top,
yeah.
and then I'm going to take off and show you. And so there's a pride in that. There's a joy in that to say, like, I'm really fast. And I don't think we have, like, with the club situation and those guys are in their own kingdoms and trying to stay kings of their kingdoms and stuff like that and win games and stuff. But maybe we're just training them to play soccer in a certain way, but we're not giving them the tools of like, hey, I am really good at crossing the ball. So give me the moment where I can put that cross in and I'm just gonna be in that, be in front of the goal. I'm gonna bounce the ball off your head into the goal.
Yeah.
Or I do these moves.
Yeah.
And I really love beating guys with these moves. I remember being in Houston, Texas and teaching this one kid, and it was crazy, but I had the third team in an age group. I had a really fast kid that wasn't very technical, but I taught him this step over move. So I said, okay, this is how this is going to work in the game. And I knocked the ball over the top of him, so he was traveling towards our own goal. And I said, the forward's going to come. You're going to take a touch like you're going to pass to the keeper. Yeah. He's going to think, the forward's going to go like, oh, I might get an easy goal here. Yeah. So he's going to come on the inside of you. Yeah. And then you fake the pass and you turn out. And when you fake the pass, the forward's going to take off and go towards the keeper. And then you're going to turn and you're going to look like, snap. Because that was the verbiage back then, like, snap. Yeah. And so, and he smiled. He did it every game, and he went snap, and the whole bench went snap, and so he practiced that move like crazy. It gave him a joy, right? Right. So there's a tool there. Like, he didn't practice other things, but he practiced that thing that gave him a moment in the game that he was looking forward to. I want to get in the game. I want a ball to go over the top because I'm fast. I'll beat the guy to it. I'm going to lure him in, kind of like a Top Gun style. You're going to put on the brakes. You're going to do what? Yeah. And then I'm going to do this move. He's going to look stupid. My whole bench is going to go like, hey. And I'm going to love the game, right? And I think we're playing a game that's so dumbed down. And I think I mentioned last time you asked, what is the thing that's missing in soccer or in the U.S.? And I was like, we used to have these camps, like when I grew up, like that taught these moves, and you did them 1,000 times until you ingrained them in. And then I went back to my club team and was like, watch this move, right? I'll show you. You can't stop me. And you get this feeling of like, I feel confident at this, and it gives me joy to feel successful. And when you're just passing short passes and connecting the ball, then if you win the game, that's a joy, a collective joy. Yeah. And you're a piece of a whole that gets that collective joy. Yeah. But you might not feel that moment of like, here, I'll try to connect this. I think one reason why golf is so popular is that the moment of satisfaction takes a long time.
Yeah.
Meaning you hit a drive and the ball's up there and you can see the ball and you can kind of see where you want to hit it, and you're referencing it, and the whole time you're referencing it, you're going, that's good, that's good, that's good, and it lasts a long time. As opposed in soccer, you hit a shot, maybe you're like at the 16, you hit a shot, you see it go to the goal, but that moment only lasts like half a second. Awesome. And then now you just got to calculate it in your memory, right? And so, you know, I think with these moves, being excellent at crossing, you know, people used to try for bicycle kicks all the time. And if you pull that off, I mean, it's crazy, but kids would get joy at it. Hopefully they don't break their neck trying to accomplish it. But I do think we're taking some of the joy out of the game. Being just like top. And as a coach, I got to reflect on that. We are a tiki-taka team. But when this first started out, I can tell you that my two, and special, 2017, my two center backs were having immense joy against Messiah, passing it back and forth. Now, the other guys were waiting, but my center backs were loving it, running this forward, back and forth, right? And so it was a new concept for us, and they were like, they took pride in it, they took joy in it, and so then they went out and worked on it. And so I think it's connected with human nature, how to turn it from a grind into a love. Do you love the game? Because if you're just trying to accomplish something like, well, I want to make a lot of money. Do you want it that much? Like, are you? I don't know if that's going to sustain you through the ups and downs of like, it's snowing outside and it's 5 degrees. Like, are you going to get up and do it? Nah. And if you ever say nah, there'll be more nahs that come in, and then you don't get it accomplished. But if you're like, I can't wait to show them, I can't wait to do this, I can't wait to do that, then you'll sustain through like the time that it takes to get it done, and for us to be the players that we should be in America. Sorry,
we've made soccer a lot like vinegar when it should be like honey. You know, like, and I've watched too much of it where I'm just kind of like, you know, and I get it, right? Like, well, we become, you know, the competition between clubs and, you know, tournaments and the winning, and you got to do this and you got to do that. And I'm all for winning. I think winning is the primary reason why you ultimately will play a competitive sport, because you want to win. But don't make winning suck, you know? Like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, you know what? Like, you know, I've won games in sucky fashion and in ways where you're like, it's the game. I mean, I remember games. You know, like, I remember those games where it's like there was something, felt it. It was, we were, you know, on fire. Like, all these different, like, it's a different, but I just watch too many games now where it's like, oh, you won. It's what a sucky way to, you know, it just doesn't feel. There's no feeling to it. There's no feeling to it. And I think it's because I think every kid's out there, like, the game is the game ends up being the culmination of grinding whatever for days on end, and then you come to a game and be like, hey, we won, and you realize the winning part of that game is hollow, right? Like, I just won a soccer game, and it feels really hollow because I just spent a week grinding, and that was never for me. That was never it for me. I was like, man.
You might not be totally speaking to this, but that's kind of why I'm so adamant in the way we play, because I think soccer these days is minimizing risk.
Oh, that's a whole other.
Minimizing risk, and like, okay, and there's a mistake, and we scored and we won. It's like, that type of game just doesn't seem fun to me.
No.
And so,
can I just tell you, that goes to the corner kick thing. Well, how do you how do we score on a corner kick? Let's maximize the risk for the defenders. That's why we do the corner kicks that we do. And I think that, sorry, on a tangent, that plays into that as well. So make the keeper struggle to come off his line because we got 10 guys right there.
Yeah. And I mean, I think a lot of things are congruent. So I think in life, are we just mitigating risk, or are we getting out there and living?
Yeah.
And say, no, go ask her out, man.
Yeah.
Take the chance.
Yeah, take the chance. Yeah.
She's gonna say that. She's gonna say no.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, but the 1 out of 10 is worth it. So go for it. Do it.
Yeah. All right, Coach. That was fantastic. You're my hero for the day. You're my hero. We're gonna fix soccer. We're gonna fix it. I am not a fan. There's a podcast. I don't know. This guy's who they are. 343 out in somewhere in California. And always, I mean, knows every problem about soccer, and he's from he's Argentinian or whatever. But the one thing he does capture which is why I watch, is like, you know, he captures the idea is like, you look at a place like Argentina, and there's this like passion for the game that makes kids play and want to do more and do. Like, and I'm like, that's what we totally lack.
Well, that's their escape.
Yeah.
Like,
totally.
Our escape is iPads and video games.
Yeah,
their escape is going to the corner where everybody's playing soccer, and they go like, this is my group, and I want to belong. I don't want to be sitting on the curb and nobody pick me, so I got to go. If they don't pick me, I got to go take my ball and practice.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny you say that, because I remember I started playing soccer in 78, 79 when I first moved to Spain, and Spain at the time had two channels, 2 TV channels. It was like TV 1, TV 2. Like that was it. And neither of them started until like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And they always started with news and like adulty stuff. And so when it's like there was never a movie on. Like sometimes there were movies, and you knew when they were. Saturday nights there was always a movie, and you know, kids programming. Saturday on the weekends it was a little bit more. But you knew, like, hey, there's no TV to watch. Like, so where did I start playing? There's a kid in my apartment building that I met who he didn't speak a lick of English and I didn't speak a lick of Spanish. But man, I think I had a ball. I brought downstairs. He came downstairs and we just started to play and kick the ball. Okay, he was terrible, and I was an American kid who'd played baseball, so I knew nothing about soccer. But we just kicked the ball, kicked the ball, and that was all we did. Hours on end. On end. Igor. Yeah, my best friend. So for 7 years, that's what we did. What's
Spanish
that?
Igor?
His so typical thing. His dad was an avowed communist, and so he was like big into the Soviet Union, and so his son's name, his I think this is it. Like it was Igor, and he had one brother, Maximilian, one of the czars, I forget. Somebody in Russia. Yeah. So, anyhow. Well, we got to stop. We got now we're going far. Hey, thanks again, Coach. Do appreciate it. This was fantastic.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good week.
You too.